Last night, while reviewing a patient's brain scan, I saw something that still gives me chills. A fruit. Yes, a fruit most of us consider healthy, had quietly pushed his blood pressure so high, he ended up with a brain bleed before the morning sun rose. And here's the frightening truth: it could happen to you too. For over 20 years I've studied the human brain, watching it in surgery, rescuing patients in the emergency room, and uncovering hidden dangers buried in medical journals. But nothing surprised me more than what I'm about to share with you tonight. There are 5 common fruits, often promoted as superfoods, that can secretly raise your stroke risk, sometimes overnight. I'll reveal them, starting with the least dangerous all the way to the one that nearly doubles your risk. And don't worry, I'll also show you the 3 fruits I personally eat every day, proven to protect your brain and keep your memory sharp. Before we dive in, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from, how old are you, and what's the fruit you eat most often? We read every single comment and reply with tips just for you. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Your future self will thank you. Let's start with the harmful ones first, and the first fruit on our list might surprise you. Number 5. Grapes. They look so harmless, small, juicy, sweet. Many of us grab a handful from the fridge believing they're a healthy snack. But for seniors, grapes can quietly set off a dangerous chain reaction inside the body. Think about this. You enjoy some grapes in the afternoon, and within an hour you feel drowsy, your energy crashes, or your hand tingles for a moment. Most people shrug it off as just age, but in reality, these are red flags. I once treated Robert, a man in his late 50s who loved eating grapes at his desk. One day his right arm suddenly went numb. It lasted only 20 minutes, but his brain scan revealed multiple tiny strokes. What seemed like a harmless snack had quietly been damaging his brain for months. Here's the problem. A single cup of grapes holds 23 grams of sugar, about 6 teaspoons, that rush into your blood within minutes. Your body reacts by flooding insulin, which inflames blood vessels and makes your blood more likely to clot. Over time, this sugar roller coaster weakens your circulation and raises your stroke risk. Red grapes add another hidden risk. They contain a compound called tyramine, which can spike blood pressure dangerously high for anyone taking certain antidepressants. And because grapes are often heavily sprayed, the pesticide residue lingers in the skin, adding more stress to your system. So what's the safe path? Treat grapes like dessert, not health food. Eat just 5 or 6 at a time, and always with a meal that includes protein or healthy fat. Better yet, reach for lower sugar alternatives: crisp cucumber slices, cherry tomatoes, or a small handful of blueberries. They satisfy the craving for something juicy, without the blood sugar crash. For older adults, the choice isn't about fear, it's about wisdom. Grapes aren't evil, but eaten carelessly, they can quietly fuel the very strokes we're trying to prevent. Number 4. Oranges. They're bright, sweet, and loaded with vitamin C. For decades, we've been told an orange a day keeps us healthy. But for many seniors, especially those on medication, oranges can turn into a silent trigger for dangerous strokes. Here's the paradox. Yes, vitamin C is great for blood vessels. But the compounds inside oranges can also interfere with how your body processes medication. That means if you're taking common drugs for blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood thinners, the orange juice you drink in the morning could cause your medication to build up to toxic levels in your blood. I remember Susan, a retired nurse in her early 70s. Every morning she drank a big glass of fresh orange juice, believing it was helping her heart. But one day she arrived in the ER with the worst headache of her life. Her blood pressure had exploded to dangerous levels, and scans showed a small bleed in her brain. The culprit wasn't her medication alone, it was how the orange juice had blocked her body from breaking that medication down. And that's not the only danger. Oranges are very acidic. Over time, the acid irritates your mouth and gums, creating inflammation. When gum bacteria enter the bloodstream, they can add to plaque buildup in your arteries, another hidden path towards stroke. Plus, one large orange contains 17 grams of sugar, mostly in the form of fructose. Unlike regular sugar, fructose puts extra strain on your liver, producing uric acid. Studies show that high uric acid levels can nearly double your risk of stroke. So what can you do? If you're on any medication, it's safest to avoid oranges and orange juice altogether. But that doesn't mean you have to miss out on vitamin C. In fact, yellow bell peppers give you nearly 5 times more vitamin C than an orange without the dangerous side effects. You can chop them into salads, stir-fry them, or even snack on slices raw. The bottom line, oranges aren't as innocent as their sunny color suggests. For seniors taking medication, they can quietly create the perfect storm inside your blood vessels. Reaching for safer sources of vitamin C is a simple change that could save your brain. Number 3. Bananas. For many people, this fruit is the symbol of healthy eating. It's quick, convenient, and packed with potassium, something we've all heard is good for the heart. But here's the shocking truth for seniors. Bananas can backfire quietly, raising stroke risk when eaten the wrong way. Potassium is an essential mineral. It helps keep your heartbeat steady and your blood pressure under control. But too much potassium too quickly can overload your system, especially if you're over 60 or taking certain medications for blood pressure or the heart. Instead of protecting you, those bananas can push your blood vessels into sudden spasms, cutting off blood flow to the brain. I'll never forget Margaret, a 67-year-old retired teacher. She started every morning with 2 bananas, believing she was making a smart choice. But one day, she suddenly lost vision in her left eye. Her blood tests revealed dangerously high potassium levels well above the safe range. The excess potassium had disrupted her heart rhythm, creating tiny clots that traveled to her brain. What she thought was heart healthy had nearly stolen her independence. And here's the hidden risk many don't realize: medications. Beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, and potassium-sparing diuretics, common drugs for blood pressure, all make your body hold on to more potassium. Add 2 or 3 bananas a day on top of that, and you've got the perfect storm for a stroke. Think of it this way: potassium is like water for a plant. Too little, and the plant wilts. But pour in bucket after bucket, and the roots drown. Your body works the same way. Balance is everything. The good news: you don't have to give up bananas entirely. Moderation makes all the difference. If you enjoy them, stick to half a banana or 1 small one every other day. And always eat it with some protein like Greek yogurt or a spoonful of peanut butter. This slows down how quickly potassium enters your bloodstream, preventing those sudden spikes. For safer alternatives, look to apples or berries. An apple has less than half the potassium of a banana, but still provides fiber and sweetness. Berries give you antioxidants with very little potassium, making them far safer for seniors with blood pressure concerns. Margaret's story has a hopeful ending. Once we removed bananas from her daily routine and adjusted her medications, her symptoms disappeared within weeks. Her vision returned, her energy improved, and she felt in control again. Bananas aren't villains. But for older adults, especially those on heart medications, eating them carelessly can be like playing Russian roulette with your blood vessels. By choosing moderation, pairing wisely, and rotating with lower potassium fruits, you can still enjoy the taste without risking your brain. Number 2 in our list is grapefruit. With its tart, refreshing taste, grapefruit has long been marketed as a slimming fruit or a heart-healthy breakfast choice. But for seniors, especially those on medication, grapefruit isn't just risky, it can be deadly. Here's why. Grapefruit contains natural chemicals called furanocoumarins. These compounds block a key filter enzyme in your liver, the very enzyme that helps your body break down medications. Without that filter, the drugs you take don't leave your system as they should. Instead, they build up in your bloodstream to toxic levels. Think about this: 1 glass of grapefruit juice can interfere with medication for up to 3 whole days. That means even if you only drink it once in a while, the effects can linger and quietly magnify your risk. I'll never forget James, a 64-year-old construction foreman. He was taking a common cholesterol-lowering drug, a statin. His wife, wanting to help him eat healthier, started making fresh grapefruit juice every morning. Within 2 weeks, James developed severe muscle pain and dark urine. By the time he arrived in the ER, his muscles had started breaking down, releasing proteins that clogged his kidneys and sent tiny clots to his brain. The scans showed multiple small strokes, all traced back to that healthy morning juice. And it doesn't stop there. Even if you're not on medication, grapefruit still carries risks. The same compounds that block your liver also interfere with calcium channels in your blood vessels. This can cause sudden tightening, what doctors call vasospasms, in the small arteries of your brain. One large study in Japan found that daily grapefruit consumption raised stroke risk by nearly 60%, even in people not taking any medication. On top of that, grapefruit plays tricks with your blood's ability to clot. At first it thins your blood, but then it causes a rebound effect where clotting becomes more aggressive than before. This roller coaster of too thin and then too thick sets the stage for both bleeding strokes and clotting strokes. So what should you do? The safest answer is simple: if you take any medication, blood pressure pills, statins, blood thinners, even some over-the-counter drugs like antihistamines, avoid grapefruit completely. There is no safe amount. Even half a grapefruit or a small glass of juice can trigger problems that last for days. If you love tart flavors, don't worry. You can switch to lemon water or a squeeze of lime. They give you that refreshing citrus kick, but without the dangerous compounds. James spent 3 weeks in intensive care and months in rehabilitation. He was lucky to walk again. But not everyone gets that second chance. Grapefruit may look bright and healthy, but for seniors it's like a loaded gun hiding in the fruit bowl. The smartest choice. Leave it out of your diet, your brain will thank you. At the very top of our list is a fruit you've probably seen praised everywhere in ads, magazines, even on supplement bottles. Pomegranate. Marketed as a superfood for heart and brain health, it's become a daily ritual for many health-conscious seniors. But behind the bright red seeds lies a darker truth for older adults. Pomegranate can quietly set the stage for a devastating stroke. On paper, pomegranate looks like a hero. It's packed with antioxidants and promoted for lowering inflammation. But here's the twist: it also contains compounds called punicogens, which interfere with your body's ability to use vitamin K, the vitamin that helps blood clot properly. Without vitamin K doing its job, your blood can become dangerously thin, raising the risk of bleeding in the brain. I once treated David, a 69-year-old professor. He prided himself on staying healthy: daily exercise, careful diet, and a tall glass of pomegranate juice every morning. But one afternoon while lecturing, he suddenly collapsed. Scans revealed a massive brain bleed. His blood test showed an alarmingly high clotting time, almost as if he were on a heavy dose of blood thinners. But he wasn't taking any. The daily pomegranate juice had been silently tipping his balance toward hemorrhage. And the danger doesn't stop there. Most people don't eat the seeds, they drink the juice. But 1 cup of juice requires 3 whole pomegranates, concentrating all those risky compounds. Add to that the sugar content, which spikes blood glucose and drives clotting, and you've got a drink that can sabotage your brain in more than one way. There's another hidden risk many seniors don't realize: supplements. Pomegranate is often consumed alongside fish oil, turmeric, or ginkgo, all of which thin the blood. When combined, they create the perfect storm for uncontrollable bleeding. As if that weren't enough, pomegranate is also one of the highest sources of oxalates, tiny crystals that can damage blood vessel walls and create chronic inflammation. Over time, those weakened vessels are far more likely to rupture. David survived, but his speech never fully recovered. He had to retire from teaching, a devastating loss for someone who loved his work. His story is a sobering reminder that even the most disciplined lifestyle can be undone by a hidden danger hiding in a so-called superfood. So what should you do instead? If you're looking for antioxidants, reach for vegetables like broccoli, spinach, or kale. They protect your brain without the bleeding risk. If you've been drinking pomegranate juice regularly, talk to your doctor about checking your clotting factors and consider stopping before it stops you. The lesson here is simple, but powerful. Not every food marketed as heart healthy is safe for seniors. In fact, sometimes the most hyped superfoods hide the greatest dangers. And in the case of pomegranate, the risk to your brain may be far too high to ignore. So there you have it, the 5 fruits that can quietly raise your stroke risk. But don't worry, not all fruit is dangerous. In fact, the right choices can protect your brain, sharpen your memory, and cut your risk of stroke in half. And that's what we'll cover next. Number 3 on our list of brain-protecting fruits is one that feels almost like a treat: strawberries. Sweet, juicy, and refreshing, they're more than just a summertime pleasure. For seniors, they can quietly guard your brain against strokes. Here's why: strawberries are packed with vitamin C, folate, and ellagic acid. Together, these nutrients strengthen blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and protect your arteries from the plaque that can block blood flow to the brain. In fact, a massive European study of over 450,000 people found that those who ate strawberries twice a week had a 30% lower risk of stroke compared to those who rarely ate them. But there's another hidden gift. Strawberries contain natural compounds similar to aspirin called salicylates. These gently keep your blood from clotting too aggressively, offering protection without the dangerous bleeding risks that come from stronger blood thinners or risky fruits like pomegranate. The best part: you don't need buckets of them. Just 8 medium strawberries, about 1 cup, are enough to deliver these protective benefits. And unlike citrus fruits, strawberries give you vitamin C without the drug interactions. Whenever possible, choose organic strawberries, since conventional ones are heavily sprayed with pesticides. Eat them whole, not juiced, so the natural fiber slows sugar absorption and keeps your energy steady. Simple, delicious, and protective strawberries prove that sometimes the sweetest things in life can also be the safest for your brain. Number 2 might surprise you: avocado. Technically a fruit, but unlike the sweet fruits we've talked about, avocado works in a completely different way inside your body. Instead of sugar, it's rich in healthy fats that your brain absolutely loves. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in olive oil, which calm inflammation and improve blood flow to the brain. Better circulation means more oxygen, more nutrients, and stronger protection against the tiny clots that can lead to strokes. One study from the University of Pennsylvania found that eating just one avocado a day reduced stroke risk by 45% in adults over 50. That's almost cutting your risk in half just from a simple daily habit. They also contain lutein, a special antioxidant that actually accumulates in brain tissue. Think of lutein as a shield protecting your memory and keeping your mind sharp as you age. The ideal serving just half an avocado a day. Spread it on whole grain toast, add it to salads, or blend it into a smoothie. You'll get fiber, brain-protecting fats, and steady energy without the sugar spikes of other fruits. Avocados prove that not all fruits are sweet, and not all fruits are dangerous. Some, like this one, can be your brain's best daily ally. Number 1 on our list is the fruit I recommend to every patient: blueberries. Tiny, sweet, and simple, they're often called nature's brain food. And for good reason. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that can actually repair blood vessels and protect brain cells from damage. Unlike sugar-heavy fruits, blueberries release their natural sweetness slowly, so your blood sugar stays stable. In one landmark Harvard study, women who ate blueberries 3 times a week had a 32% lower risk of stroke. That's nearly a third less risk from something as easy as adding a handful of berries to breakfast. What makes them unique is that anthocyanins cross the blood-brain barrier, directly shielding neurons from oxidative stress. Think of them as tiny guardians patrolling your brain and keeping it young. The best part: you only need 1 cup of fresh or frozen blueberries a day. Mix them into yogurt, sprinkle them on oatmeal, or eat them plain. When it comes to protecting your brain, blueberries truly are the champion. So, there you have it: 5 fruits that can quietly raise your stroke risk, and 3 powerful ones that can protect your brain and keep you sharp. If you take one thing away tonight, let it be this: you are not powerless. Aging doesn't mean decline. It means learning the right tools to protect the body you've built over a lifetime. If you're still watching, I know you care deeply about your health. Leave a comment below with your age and which of these fruits you eat the most. I'd love to hear your story and reply with tips just for you. And don't forget to subscribe. Your future self will thank you. In our next video, I'll reveal the 7 best fruits for diabetics, the fastest way to steady your blood sugar, protect your energy, and avoid dangerous spikes after 60. Some of them may surprise you, and one of them is probably already sitting in your kitchen right now. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss it. Thank you for watching.